Well, this escalated quick.
The York County Sheriff's Office facing a lawsuit. Attorneys for Trevor Mullinax say deputies were negligent and malicious in how they handled an interaction with him in 2021.
Welcome to another episode of Earning the Hate. So, mom calls police to help her distraught son. And the cops show up and fire 50 rounds. Now remember, Supreme Court just ruled to stop him from escaping. If she's a hostage, it's okay to kill her too. Perfect.
The York County Sheriff's Office facing a lawsuit. Attorneys for Trevor Mullinax.
Who thinks these cops are scared? Anybody really think these cops are scared when they start shooting? Jumping out right in front of him, pulls the car right up to him, standing out in the open, but I'm in fear of my life. To shoot 50 rounds. No care and concern whatsoever for the unarmed mom who's not a threat. Tough shit. You get in the way of the blue line, you're collateral damage. Don't like it? Tough.
The York County Sheriff's Office facing a lawsuit. Attorneys for Trevor Mullinax say deputies were negligent and malicious in how they handled an interaction with him in 2021.
Almost 50 shots, including to the back of somebody's head. That person's not a threat.
They say Mullinax was considering suicide when law enforcement...
Now look, I get it. Suicide victims, if they got a gun, they're a threat to you, etc. But you pull right out in front of the car, draw your gun, and just stand out in the open so you can shoot them 50 times. I'm telling you, our freaking government and cops are out of control.
was called to help. Attorneys say his mother, Tammy Beeson, was standing by the car consoling him when officers opened fire, shooting Mullinax 9 times. He survived.
9 hits, 50 rounds fired, and he survived.
He wanted was to get some help for my son.
Well, that's your first mistake. You think government's the fix and gonna help you.
Never in my life have I ever imagined that I would be put in danger by someone on the law enforcement.
Well, that's because you're an idiot. Okay, sorry. You're just an idiot. If you've never in your life thought that law enforcement wouldn't hurt you, you haven't been paying attention. You've been living in a freaking Cracker Jack box.
In dispatch audio and body camera footage shared by Mullinax's attorneys, you can hear investigators ask about warrants he had before the shots rang out.
York PD was looking for Trevor Mullinax last night.
They're saying it's burglary first and malicious injury.
Video shows when they arrived at the scene, officers tell someone at the home.
He's got to go to jail.
But attorneys say those charges were later dropped.
Of course they're dropped.
They took the, he's got warrants, and overlooked the fact that this was initially was a welfare check from his cousin that said,
man, pink and purple ties must be popular in the new men today. Anyway, I digress.
We're just trying to get some help from our buddy.
In a statement to WCNC Charlotte, the sheriff's office stood by their action.
Shocking. The sheriff's department saw nothing wrong with this.
Saying in part, quote, Mr. Mullinax chose to put these men in danger.
Oh, it's his fault. Because he's having a mental breakdown. If you need help, it's your fault.
By pulling a shotgun. These deputies responded appropriately to the threat, as they were trained to do. Had Mr. Mullinax made different choices that day, deputies would not have been required to use force.
First of all, they're not required to use force. They have no duty to act. They chose to show up, to stand in front of him, to draw their gun, and to fire 50 rounds. It was a choice. It was not a requirement.
But attorneys say Mullinax planned to use the gun on himself and only wanted support, with Mullinax adding,
all right, so call the police, get 50 rounds, that's your problem. Okay? Back to blue till it happens to you.
The York County Sheriff's Office facing a lawsuit. Attorneys for Trevor Mullinax say deputies were negligent.
All right, we'll end that there. Earning the hate.